Who else has joined us here? Oh, Doug's in the restaurant on his own phone. That's awesome. And Dawn, good to see you, Dawn. And Stacy, and Mike, and Jason snuck in. Good to see you.
So Francesca is going to be just a few minutes. She tried to log in and realized that she doesn't have Zoom, so it's just
okay.
downloading for her, but she is coming.
No worries. We will delay until she's here.
You know, she's coming from Italy, so it's not. She needs.
Hopefully, she makes her connection.
I know.
Allison, welcome.
Is Erica here yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're at time, but we're going to wait another couple of minutes just to let people assemble, because we have folks gathering from across the world, which is very good.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the students weren't able to join today, so we'll send them to YouTube, but they're either working or traveling.
Oh, yeah, we can. That's a good point. We can definitely share the video with them.
Oh, I will. I talked to them all on Instagram. They all replied. And
thank you for that.
Maddie's back working at her dad's hospital, which is no longer a COVID hospital.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that's good. And there's Francesca.
Yay!
She is.
Good morning.
Good morning, Francesca.
Hey, Francesca.
And there's Anne. Welcome, Anne.
Good morning.
And I assume that's Jennifer.
Francesca, where are you?
I'm in Sardinia now.
Oh, are you? Because you've been everywhere.
Yes, I came to Sardinia earlier because the situation, the COVID situation in Belgium is not that good.
Right.
So I will have my holidays here and then I will come back to Belgium.
Is COVID better in Sardinia now?
Yes. Sardinia hasn't been hit a lot by the virus, while Belgium now is, the situation in Belgium is pretty serious now.
Oh, we're very glad you could join us.
I'm very glad to.
And there's Erica.
Morning, Erica.
And there's Ryan. Welcome. Well, I think we can probably get started. There may be a few others who are joining us, but let's get things rolling.
How many are at Socrates or wherever they are?
Welcome everyone to the August 7th meeting of the Rotary Club of St. Albert's, meeting number 1471. This is a unique meeting because we have a group joining us from Socrates, and they're all appropriately masked and distanced and having coffee and socializing. So hopefully they will connect in with the conversations and participate in the meeting. We will start with the singing of "O Canada, Please Rise."
I'm not rising. I'm not rising.
Thank you very much. Inspirational moment, I believe, is Lynn. I'm not sure if Lynn has joined us. Is there somebody who would like to volunteer to take on the inspirational moment?
I will.
Charlene.
Sorry, I'm just finishing my last bite of breakfast here. With Francesca here, I just always want to say that our exchange program is always an inspiration. Francesca is going to talk about some of the amazing things she's been doing the last few years. But I always find that kids who go on exchange go on to lead an amazing, incredible life. And thank you. Thank you for sharing what you guys do with us.
Thank you for that, Charlene. Appreciate you stepping up. So now we're going to do introduction of guests. And it was suggested to me that I not share my screen as much as I have been so that people can see others. So let us do the introduction of guests. And Daria, maybe I'll start with you doing some introductions.
Sounds good. So of course, Francesca is here with us this morning. I will provide a bit more information about Francesca for people that have not had the pleasure of meeting her when she was here. And we have many, many guests today that came to see and hear Francesca. So I'm gonna try to pick everybody. So of course we have Kelly. Who else is there? I saw Cole. Let me go to the second screen. Ed is there joining us as well. Cole, Elena Pisanu, so Francesca's sister. Erica is with us. Morgan, did I miss anybody? Mark, can you see anybody else?
My mom is here with me.
Oh, there you go, sorry.
Hey, Lynn, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody.
And there's Allison.
Oh, Allison, yes, sorry.
Guest at Socrates.
So the only guest that we have is my daughter Rebecca is with us.
Hey, Rebecca, welcome.
And we also have all of the wonderful Socrates staff, so thank you to them.
Hello, Socrates staff. And Natalia. So let us go to, hang on, I can do it. The welcome song.
Welcome to Rotary, glad you are here. Come shake our hands and share a friendly cheer. Whether from near or whether from far, we're glad you're here. We hope that you will like our little song because we're proud of St. Albert, and you'll agree. Our club enjoys some great camaraderie, so we do what we can to help with the needs of our community with our friends at Rotary. With our friends at Rotary.
Brings a tear to my eye every time. So welcome to our guests. So let us go straight into the feature presentation of this morning. Daria, could you do the introductions, please?
Will do. So Francesca, sorry, let me do this first just quickly. So Francesca Pisanu. She was a Rotary Youth Exchange Student, 2015-2016. And after since 4 years of her being in Canada, she graduated in International Relations and Human Rights. She's working as an intern in Brussels, and next year she will be joining the European Solidarity Corps in Strasbourg. This morning she will talk about her bachelor thesis, the residential schools in Canada, and she will also talk about her internship. She would also like to emphasize how much her experience in Canada was a turning point in her life, and it was crucial for what she has done since then. She was my first exchange student when I joined Rotary, so I'm very, very proud to see what she has done in her life since she was here, and I'm excited for everybody else to hear her presentation this morning. So welcome, Francesca.
Sorry, just so you know, Daria, you're in presenter mode.
Oh.
So it's showing up, yeah.
How do I change that? Sorry, Mark, I'm not sure it's open. I have two screens going, so it's open on.
That's not a big deal. If Francesca is okay with that, then.
Okay. Can you see it better at least, like this?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Francesca.
First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me here. I hope you are all doing good, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting you in person in the future. I don't know when it will be possible, but I know that it will be amazing. Next one. Next one. Okay. Since I came back from Canada, I have been involved with some Rotary Youth Exchange activities. I've been giving some presentations on my experience in Canada and on the Rotary Youth Exchange program in general. In 2018, I also got the opportunity to talk in front of all the exchange students who were in Italy during that year. Next. My family continued to be involved with the Rotary Exchange program. My sister last year went on exchange to Taiwan. It was a very brave decision, and I'm really proud of her. Last year, my family hosted a girl from Taiwan and a guy from Japan. Next. During my last year of high school, I had to study hard to obtain my diploma. I graduated with a final project on the concept of solidarity. The following year, I moved to Padova for university, and I managed to graduate in advance of the normal duration of my bachelor degree. So I graduated in 5 semesters instead of 6. I got my diploma in international relations and human rights. I know, next one. Next one. I know it is a very well-known topic for all of you, but I would like to talk about my bachelor thesis. The title is The Residential Schools in Canada. Could you please go back to the other slide? Sorry. Thank you. The title is The Residential Schools in Canada, from the violation of the rights of Indigenous children to reconciliation. There are many reasons behind my choice. The first one is that I found it interesting that Canada dealt with its past through the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, because the priority has been given to the truth. And secondly, I met some Indigenous people when I went to Northern Canada, and I also fundraised for some books to be donated to an Indigenous reserve in Edmonton. Next one. I would like to go briefly through the history of Indigenous international law. We have to come back to the Treaty of the League of Nations in 1920, the World Measure international organization at the time. One of the principles of the League of Nations is self-determination. In the 20s, there was an attempt to raise awareness on the rights of indigenous people. In 1923, Descartes, leader of the Confederation of the Iroquois, sailed to Switzerland and he lobbied for international recognition of the Six Nations as an independent state under Article 17 of the League of Nations. Descartes' efforts at the League proved fruitless. In the 1970s, the UN Subcommission on the Prevention of Discrimination of the Minorities recommended a study on the indigenous rights situations, which is called the Martinez-Cobo study. In 1993, there was the International Year of the World's Indigenous People. At the opening ceremony in New York, indigenous people leaders spoke directly from the podium of the General Assembly for the first time in the UN history, so it's quite relevant. And the General Assembly of the United Nations proclaimed 1995-2004 as the International Decade of the World's Indigenous People. The Human Rights Council in 2006 adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People, and the following articles of the Declaration are highly relevant. The first one is the right to fully enjoy all of human rights. The third and the fourth is about self-determination. The eighth is the right not to be subjected to forced assimilation or destruction of their culture. The 10th is about claim that they don't have to be forcibly removed from their lands or territories. And there are many articles on indigenous identities, education, on languages. Aboriginal people are also mentioned in the Agenda 2030 for the Sustainable Development Sustainable Goal. And also the last year, it was the Indigenous Year of Indigenous Languages. Next one. The history of the relationship between Indigenous and the rest of the Canadian population can be divided into three phases. So there was the first one that is characterized by the collaboration between them. During the long colonial rivalry between France and Great Britain, different First Nations groups were important allies to both European powers. Then new ideas and approaches regarding this relationship began to take hold. Then there is the integration phase. Next one. The phenomenon of boarding school for indigenous people is widespread throughout the world. In the former USSR and China, the boarding schools were means to address national stability. In the Middle East, boarding schools actually targeted the elite of indigenous communities. In Scandinavia, the aim of the boarding schools was to save the indigenous people from their hidden ways. In Australia, the generation of children removed under these policies became known as the stolen generation. The boarding schools were part of the assimilation policies in the countries of the ex-Commonwealth. Indigenous uses and costumes were seen as burden to civilization. These policies were based on racism and class prejudices, and they were aimed at invading the most intimate sphere, reproduction. Next one. The Canadian schools were inspired by the US model. In 1879, David, a Regina member of parliament, sent a report to the federal government to underline that the schools were inadequate for civilizing Aboriginal people. These schools were to be set up far away from their communities so that children would not be influenced by their cultures and their communities. While at the beginning the system was managed by the church, then the government became fully committed to residential schools. In the 60s, there was the start of integration policies. In 1971, a report was sent to the Indian Affairs Committee on the importance of parental control of children's education. In the 1998-96, no, there weren't in Canada any other any residential schools. Next one. Everything started with a knock on the door, and then children were removed from their communities. Students had to cut their hair, they were dressed in uniforms, and their days were strictly regimented by timetables. In addition, students were strictly forbidden to speak their language and to practice indigenous costumes or tradition. Abuse at the school were widespread. Emotional, psychological, physical, and sexual abuse was very common. Children were frequently assaulted, raped, or threatened by staff or other students. The conditions of the schools were very bad in terms of sanitary hygiene, nutrition, high mortality rates. Of course, there were some exceptions. Official apologies have been provided since the early 80s. Apologies were necessary for the healing process because apologizing means recognizing the human dignity of the victims. Next one. Was it a genocide? This is an open question. I will just make you read the definition of genocide. It was for sure a cultural genocide. So it was the destruction of structure and practices that allow a group to continue to be a group. Next. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission is a part of the transitional justice process. It supports historical injustices and traumas, and the actors of the reconciliation are the survivors, the government, and the churches. Reconciliations supports the natives in overcoming the suffering caused by the memories of colonizations. Next one. These are the calls to actions that are aimed at tightening the gap between the Canadian and the indigenous populations. So the Canadian government is actually fully committed and implementing policies for tightening this gap. Next one. Now I will completely change the topic. And I will briefly talk about my internship at the Veneto region offices in Brussels. The tasks that I'm carrying out are several. Basically, I support the—
Francesca, just a second. Okay, yeah, we just had to get someone to mute so we could hear you. I see she's muted now.
I'm not muted. Could you hear me?
Sorry, go ahead.
Is it possible to turn your audio up a little bit?
It's already up. Could you hear me? Now?
I can't hear you.
Maybe a little bit louder if you can.
Okay, I will get closer. So I support the policy officer. I attend meetings. I write articles, I report, and I support the administration of European projects. Next one. Why is there a delegation in Brussels? European and national employment strategies need action, commitment, and engagement on the part of regional and local actors. More than 300 representations of the EU regional and local authorities are based in Brussels. They are consultative bodies recognized by the European Union. The formal representation of regional and local authorities takes place through the Committee of Regions, which is an advisory body. Next one. The European Parliament is made up of 705 members, which are elected from the 27 member states of the European Union. It gives the European Union a democratic legitimacy. The European Parliament adopts EU legislations with the Council. The European Parliament establishes and adopts the EU budget and approves the long-term budget. Next one. The European Commission is the European executive body. It's made up of 27 commissioners. There is one president, and the commission is divided into general directorates. So, for example, there is one about agriculture, one about climate actions. So it's divided into topics. Next one. The Council of the EU is a single legal entity, but it meets in 10 different configurations. The participants of the representatives from each member state are responsible for different areas, and the European Commissions are responsible for those areas too. Next one. Next one, because the Council, okay. The recovery plan was presented on the 26th of May 2020 by the European Commission. The objective is to face the COVID-19 crisis and to create a more equal and more resilient society by accelerating the dual digital and green transition. Next one. The recovery plan, also called Next Generation EU, is based on 3 pillars. The first one is to support member states to recover, repair, and emerge stronger from the crisis. The second one is to kickstart the economy and to help private investment. And the third one is to learn the lessons from the crisis. Next one. Now I will say what I'm doing next. I was supposed to start a master's degree in children's rights in the Netherlands, but due to the COVID-19, I deferred my studies to I was supposed to do it right now in 2020, and now I'm deferring my study to 2021. And I will join the European Solidarity Corps, which is a youth European project, and I will be working in an institute for minors. I am passionate about human rights, more specifically about children's rights, and I'm also very interested in the topic of domestic violence and abuse. So I think that this experience will be relevant for my future. I would like to thank you for your attention. I hope you guys heard me, and that's it. Thank you very much for inviting me and for giving me this opportunity. I was really excited, and I am still. So it's very nice talking with you guys.
Thank you so much, Francesca.
Thank you, Francesca. I'll stop
Questions?
sharing the screen so we can see everybody.
Thank you. Questions for Francesca?
Francesca, how did you pick your thesis topic? What made you choose residential schools?
Because it's about human rights. It's because I focused on how the Canadian government dealt with the violations later, because there was the Truth Reconciliation Commission, which is a different kind of making justice. So I was quite interested about it. And also, I was really interested about the topic of residential schools and about the violation of children's rights, which is a particular domain of human rights. So I got to choose it, and I didn't regret about it because it was really interesting researching on it.
Francesca, tell us a little bit about your personal life, and are you still cooking?
Cooking. A little bit. I cooked a lot during quarantine because I was in Brussels and I was living with other people. And so I got to cook, and because during quarantine, I think everybody did it. So that's it. Thank you. Now that I am at home in Sardinia, I'm not doing it because I got spoiled by my parents.
Francesca, maybe also explain when you went back from your exchange, you had to do 2 years in one to finish your high school, I think, right?
Yes. No, it was hard. Also, my teachers didn't really want me to go on exchange. So it was harder for me than the other people, but I did. So.
Awesome.
Any questions from Socrates or Francesca?
Again, I'm not Socrates, but Francesca, Daja, so good to see you. Your English sounds better than ever to me. Are you using it a lot in the work that you're doing, or did you just retain? Because you're just, it's just perfect the way you're speaking. It's so good to see you.
No, I'm using it at work because I'm in Brussels, so I have to go to meetings that are held in English. So I always have to improve it, for sure.
Francesca, we have Rebecca who's sitting out at Socrates right now. She's going to be going on exchange, hopefully next year. Any advice to her?
Enjoy it. Where are you going? Where is she going to?
We're not sure. She was supposed to go to Belgium this year, but we won't know for sure if that's where she's going next year or not. But if she is and you're there, then we'll have to hook you up.
But will she leave in September? I don't think so.
In August of 2021.
Okay.
So she's got a while to wait.
Okay. We hope that.
Crossing our fingers.
But yes. If you go to Belgium, I can give you some advice. But if you go to Europe, I mean.
Looks like Doug at Socrates has a question.
Hey, Jessica.
Yes.
Francesca.
How are you, buddy? It seems like forever. It's so good to see your big smiley face. I miss our arms time together. Always made me laugh. Just a comment. You choosing to do what you're doing for your thesis. I'm sure I speak from the whole club. That's pretty impressive to see you take something so big and so important to Canadians and so important to our Indigenous community, take it halfway across the world.
Sorry, I cannot
bring it life for people that really don't. Absolutely amazing, amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I did it because I went to Canada and I got the opportunity to see in person this situation. Thank you.
So here's a question for you. Knowing what you know and the research that you did, if you were the Prime Minister of Canada, what would you do next?
It's a very difficult question. I mean, I'm happy that you think that I'm able to reply, but I don't know. I don't know what has been done since 2015 until now, because I did research from that year. So you guys are, of course, not more knowledgeable than me. So I think that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is a very good solution, because you cannot, many people were involved with this violation of human rights. So it wouldn't have so much sense to punish them. But the important thing now is to facilitate the dialogue and to rebuild a nation more. I don't know.
Very nice. No, that worked.
Them communicate. I think it.
Thank you.
But I don't know if.
It's a tough question. And any other questions for Francesca?
I have one, Mark. It's Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Francesca. I am wondering if you had the opportunity while you were in Edmonton to meet with Dr. Cindy Blackstock, and if not, if you'd be interested in connection. She is the leader of the FN Caring Society, which has been presenting to the Canadian government and through the court system the rights of children here in Canada, Indigenous children.
I'm very interested about it.
Okay, I'll connect with you offline. And wonderful work. It's so nice to see you again. I only had one opportunity to see you at the Edmonton's Food Bank, but thank you. You're involved for me.
Thank you.
Lynn Sharwa, do you have any words after getting to visit Francesca back in her home plate?
Laura was just asking me that. Mom, aren't you going to say something? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Francesca. As always, so lovely to see you. We talk about you all the time. We miss all this. And, I'm getting teary. It's been really wonderful seeing you again.
No.
We miss you a lot, and we're really, really proud of you, Fran. You're doing really amazing work, so good job.
I didn't mention you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a picture of you guys in like the second slide. I didn't don't know, I didn't say it, but I also got some visits from Canada and I really enjoyed it. My family enjoyed it a lot. Thank you for coming. And you guys are always welcome. Always. When I am Sardinia. So.
We'll come as a full club, everybody all at the same time.
That's great. Maybe next year.
Next year. Thank you so much, Francesca. Really appreciate you sharing your words with us today. And we will be making a donation in your name to the Polio Plus program as a thank you for your speaking today. So thanks again.
Thank you again.
Thank you. So some quick reports and announcements. We had our board meeting this past week and had some really good conversations. So there'll be some follow-up from that, provide some updates. There was also a meeting of the history task group, and Alan isn't with us this morning. So we will look for an update from that group going forward. Community service, Doug on Thursday. I don't know if you have any quick comments you want to make, Doug, about that meeting yesterday? Would that be a no?
He says no. He says no.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Doug Webster, Tools for School.
Hey, everybody. Thanks again. Just wanted to, it's that time of year where we get our school tools program going with United Way and Staples. I think as everybody knows, the need this year is greater than it's ever been before. To raise $15,000. We're on our way. We just crested 3,000 the other day, which is fantastic. So thanks to the community and our customers that have stepped up, of course, our staff. But we're looking at doing a little bit of involvement this year with the Rotary Club. Doug Campbell and I and the team on the community services group chatted about it last night. We're thinking of having a day where Rotary is, it's Rotary Day at for school tools. And there's going to be some more information upcoming to follow on that. But again, there's a lot of generosity through Club that's over the years has really helped support this program. So I guess my call is coming out again, saying, hey, come on down, make a donation, help out the kids that need it the most. It's that time of year. We sincerely appreciate United Way appreciates it. Everybody that's involved in this. This is a really big deal, and it couldn't come at a better time to help with the kids that are hopefully coming back to school and reacclimating with being around in that environment. So it's a great program, as you all know. So thank you always for your support. So come on down, spend some money, have some fun, and let's raise some money for such a wonderful cause. Thank you so much, President Mark.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you giving us that update. Any other updates this morning? Reports, announcements? Going once.
Going twice. Just a reminder that the end of the month is the last weekend for the flag program. I'm going to be sending out the lists sometime soon, but this is just a heads up. Look at your calendar and see if you can help us out. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dawn. Any others? Okay. Our next meeting next Friday is Rise Morgan, who's a partner at RSM, and he's going to be talking about COVID-19 organizational response, preparedness, and strategy. Quickly, birthdays and anniversaries. Anita, your birthday's on the 5th. Good Lord, you young woman. And spouse birthdays, Leanne Carter on August the 10th. Now, with not much introduction, John, what have you got for us today?
Well, good morning, Evan. Oh, sorry. Doug was using it, so I'll just angle it up. Okay.
Ooh, there's a fun.
First off, I want to say thank you to everyone who came to Socrates this morning. We're having a lot of fun. It's been great, and I'm happy with the way it's integrating between Zoom and the in-person, so it's going great. Everyone made this happen. With us today, I believe he's on holiday. So we're going to have to hold off on the Chase the Ace because I don't actually have the list. I've tried to compile a little bit, but we're going to do 2 draws next week because I'm missing about half the people. So it's not fair for me to do a draw without actually knowing who's paid and who hasn't. But we will do 2 draws next week, and I do apologize for that. As you guys remember, last week we showed you a little teaser about the Mark versus John episode 2. This was the contest between us to see who could chug Slurpee in pretty weather the fastest. So Mark, if you can give me screen share control here, I will do it for you now.
Okay, and just so you know, you break up a little bit, John, so there's a bit of a pause occasionally.
Okay, well that does happen.
Mark, what I'm noticing is Natalia turns her mute off, and that's when we're having challenges. So
okay.
Can we just maybe fix that up?
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, where is it? Time player. Here we go. Yeah.
Hey Rotarians, how you guys doing?
We're having a good day. We're going for a second challenge here. We're going to do it's really hot. We're dying of thirst.
30 degrees outside. Oh my god. Yes.
We're going for a Slurpee challenge.
These are really big cups.
They're very big.
Just for the record, he picked them. Yeah. This is gonna hurt.
You wanted the little baby cups?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I can handle little baby cups, but no. Yeah, sure. He's confident because he won the last challenge. That's what it boils down to. 1-0. Yes. Okay. You're big man on campus. Mark, what flavor are you going with?
So I'm going with the tried and true tested Coca-Cola Classic. It's right on. It's right down my alley.
Original.
Original.
New.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I am Dr. Pepper because in all the time I've been involved in Rotary, Dr. Murdoch has never steered me wrong, so I'm putting my trust in the doctor.
That's a tough one. Good.
So, Dr. Murdoch, this one's for you.
Don't do it.
Very delicious here. It's so Ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Okay, this is for the title now. Don't learn nothing.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
Rotarians, we want you voting on who you think is going to finish Slurpees. Giant Slurpees.
Really big. That was hot out, so I'm going to suck this back.
Is it going to be the big man, Mark? Who's running, like, he's undefeated at this point.
Undefeated. No, but
Ow, ow, ow.
Very close.
It's gonna take a while.
They're frozen.
Look at this.
Wow. Oh, wow, that is cold. Are you done? I'm done.
Hey.
I was tempted. Terry, salt for you. We do this for you. Okay, so there you have it. Apparently, I suck more than Mark does. So, yeah, we had, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know who voted for Mark because, again, he's not here. But to those of you who did, well, suck it. But we had 7 people vote for me. So, Natalia, if I can get you to unmute yourself, I'm going to get you to pick a number between 1 and 7.
5.
5. All right. Well, that would be Doug Campbell that won. Fantastic. We'll tally the money. We'll get some money over to you. Congratulations. You're the only winner of this particular contest because, quite frankly, Mark and I were both losers on this one. And under Doug Webster's suggestion, apparently next week we're going to do a Tide Pod challenge.
Oh.
No, you're not.
No, I don't think we are, but yeah, we'll see. But that was his suggestion. So before we go into any fines or anything like that, I just want to see if there's any happy bucks out there. Let's share some joy and some happiness. Daria, go ahead.
I just want to share that I'm officially done with my MBA. It was 18 months. I know all grades are in. I did really well. I have 1 B+ that I missed by 1% to be A. So I'm really proud of my accomplishments, especially because I was able to do it in 18 months. At the end with COVID and health emergency with my husband that I did not plan for. And I just want to say thank you for to everybody for not giving me too much of a hard time for missing a lot of meetings last year. Your understanding really helped me focus, and you still made me feel part of the club every time I did manage to come. So thank you very much. I wanted to share, and I'll give you $20 for that, John.
Hey. Fantastic. And Daria, congratulations from all of us. We're very proud of you. Any other happy bucks out? I know we've got happy Rotarians this morning. Here, anyone? Anyone? No one here is happy either. So I guess this allows me to jump into some fines. Let's start with our president, Mr. Mark Dixon, for not knowing the name of the restaurant that we're all at. Sort of is an Italian restaurant. Socrates is a breakfast joint. They're not even close.
They all sound the same to me.
Yeah, well, too bad. It's going to cost you a couple bucks. I'm going to, let's see, who can I hit here? I'm going to get Doug Webster. Yeah, for no particular reason. I just missed him. That'll $2, Doug. What else do we have going on here? Let me see what I've got online that I can hit. I'm going to hit Dave Linklater on this one as well, simply for the super late night text messages to get in last minute into Chase the Ace and the Mark versus John. And I would like to finally, for the Mark versus John contest, Jerry Featherly, I'm going to find for the comments on the fact that I appreciate you supporting me in this one, but the reason for me is because you know how much I can drink, and that.
You won, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You won.
This isn't about proving you right. This was about sacrificing myself for you. But I'm still finding you for that one. And finally, Laura Charrois, I'm going to find you because according to everybody here, there is no crying in Rotary, and you're the closest person to your mother who is crying. So we're hitting you for a couple of bucks as well.
Oh.
And there's a belief here. I think this qualifies as a fine from the floor from Kathy to Charlene because she thinks crying as well. So you get to pay a couple bucks for that, unless you can prove otherwise, in which you'll pay a couple of bucks. In fact, that might be the next versus contest, is Charlene versus Kathy. I have no fines, so if there are any fines from the floor, I would love to hear them now. Going once. Going twice.
I'll just put out some happy bucks there, John. It's great to see Francesca, and hopefully she can come visit us back in Canada, or we can all get to Sardinia because it's a beautiful place.
Fantastic. Yeah. Anyone else with fines from the floor? No? Okay. Well, Mark, back to you. I'm all done.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions. Don't forget to like and share on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thanks to Francesca for the presentation this morning. Thanks to John for your contributions, Mr. Webster for your tools for school. I'm gonna get fined for that one as well. Thanks to everyone, and we will end with the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, everyone.
Good morning. Have a great weekend.
You too, Anita. Thanks, Francesca. It was good to see you, my
Thank
girl.
you. Have a good day.
Francesca, and Francesca's weird sister. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Francesca, love you.
Bye, Daja.
Thanks,
Thank
folks.
you.
That's so great.